You know, leave it to Axial to release something in January when there's 30 inches of snow on the ground. It's going to make that running video a lot harder to do. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Today, it's a first look review, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, of the new Axial SCX24 Jeep Gladiator. They did it! They made a tiny one. Even though I'm not a fan of the Gladiator in real life, only because Josh owns one, I really like the Gladiator. I think it's a pretty cool looking Jeep with a bed on it. Can't call it a truck. Anyway, let's go over the details of this new SCX24 Jeep Gladiator. It comes in two colors. This tan Mojave color, and then this pretty wicked blue color, which is right behind me over there. I said, what colors does it come in? And they go two. And I said, let's see both of them. So they sent them my way, which is very cool. Thank you, Axial. So what you're looking at here is the box. Everything you need comes in this box. It's completely ready to run. There is nothing that you need to add. There's no AA batteries afterwards. They come in the box. Pretty fantastic. Let's crack it open, get a good look at it. So there it is, a very tiny Jeep Gladiator JT. This looks pretty fantastic, I do have to say. Axial does a great job with their bodies, and this is no exception. I mean, it's essentially the JL, just longer, with more junk on the back. It does look really great, and it's almost, I would say, gosh darn, pretty good representation of the full size, or, well, 10th scale, 9th scale one that Axial makes. There are a few differences between this Gladiator, or in fact, this SCX24, and some of the previous models. Notably, of course, there is the Tough Stuff rack here. You've got some sand ladders. You've got little tiny Rotopacks fuel cells there. There's a shovel. There's even a high lift jack. Oh, and there's another shovel and an axe in there too. They got all the little tiny bits and pieces from that add-on to the 9th scale version. So that's pretty cool that they did that. And if I'm not wrong, yep, these sand ladders, these come off. And you can use them. Now that's a pretty great little feature that they added there. That's pretty neat. I gotta say, that's a nice little bonus I wasn't expecting. Hey, wait a second. There's something else going on here. There's an interior panel on the JT. The little cowboy hatted man is in there. There he is. You can sort of make them out there. They tinted the windows, kind of a weird choice. If you're going to have an interior, why not show it off a little bit better? I'm fine with that though. That can be easily remedied with a little bit of trimming of these decals. Also, another nice touch, and I don't think they did this on the other Jeeps, there's actually grill stickers, and I could be wrong. It's been a little while since I've had a stock SCX24 JL sitting around, but that looks really good. Also, are these slightly different tires? New rear bumper as well to compensate for this longer vehicle, of course. Front bumper looks to be a carryover from the previous JLs. There's a couple of other significant differences, of course. The frame rails are substantially longer. And then in fact, there's even a bit more plastic to handle the whole hinge mount system. And, you know, surprisingly, even with this longer body and an interior panel, they managed to keep all the electronics in the place that they have been. So we've got a longer rear drive shaft. Axles appear to be all the same. Maybe a beefier tie rod there. I'm not sure. That looks to be about the same as well. Let's see. How does this come off? There's no body clip anymore, so it must be Velcro. Oh! That's some strong Velcro. Holy cow. Okay, so that all flips up. You can see the interior panel there, tied in with the driver figure and all the seats and everything. That's pretty nice. Glad they did that. That's some pretty strong Velcro on there. I'm not seeing that body popping off anytime soon. We've still got LED lights in the bumper. Still comes with the battery, ESC. They've changed the branding on the ESC. Now it's got an HR code, so that's probably Horizon. That's probably what that means. Still get the LiPo battery. And then one other final thing to note, the springs in the rear shocks are much firmer to handle the additional weight and length of that JT body. Gosh, that's good looking. That's a good looking little truck. I guess also, I don't remember these wheels being chrome before. That might be something new as well. I think it adds a nice little bit of pop, visual pop to that JT. It wouldn't be ready to run if you didn't get a USB-based charger in the box. You also get AA batteries and a couple of accessories there, including body post with a clip. So if you wanted to go clip instead of Velcro, they include that. And it looks to be like a couple of extra drive shaft pieces as well. Full manual and operating instructions, everything you will need to get started. And a pretty decent looking radio. This is a new radio for the SCX24 line. We've got all the digital trims in there as well. Pretty nice. Feels pretty good in the hand. Still can drive it one-handed if necessary, which will be necessary. That's great. There is a third and a fourth channel. There's 4 channels on this transmitter, so that's pretty good to see. Nice foam wheel. And certainly a welcome change from the previous models, which had those super tiny little remotes. This feels a lot more substantial and less toy-like. Nice upgrade. All right, so there you go. It's great to see all these additional accessories on the back of the truck. Sorry, Jeep with a box bed. Nice to see a firmer setup in the rear suspension to cover all that additional weight. I think it's probably best we put some batteries in and see how it does. Gosh, I would say it's even smoother now than it was before. I think this radio system makes things a lot smoother. I'm really impressed. So of course it is a smaller scale. You wouldn't get the same level of performance that you would out of, say, its big brother, but it is going to be a pretty capable little truck, especially with that longer wheelbase. I think that's really going to help you. It does seem to have a lot more low end than I recall from the original SCX24. Which is great to see. Nice subtle improvement, but nice and smooth, nice and quiet transmission. That's great. Now, if only we could get these outside for a proper test. But that's probably not going to be very likely. There's 30 plus inches of snow on the ground and it's cold. It's cold in here, in fact. I will say that the improvements made and the tinier body, interior, stronger springs in the back, longer wheelbase, nicer looking chrome wheels, all make for a pretty great experience. This thing looks fantastic. I think they did a really good job. And in fact, that's even better too. The lights are now operable from the third channel, so you can have this flashing mode if you want, solid or off completely. That's pretty cool. Very cool to see that. Does that not feel like it's got more power than previous models? I think it does. The worm drive gears offer a really great kind of bonus drag brake. There isn't one on the ESC, and you don't really need one because that's what worm gears do. But it is just a nice little tiny, great driving experience. They nailed it. I think it looks awesome. I'm really happy to have this in the stable. And while I do have two here, it's not fair for me to keep them both. I'm going to keep the tan one. I'm going to give the blue one away. And it's really going to be very simple. Comment on this video, say something, anything, and I'll put your name into the hat. I'll randomly select one of you. At the time that this vehicle is officially available to the public, I'll be sure to box it up and ship it to whomever I've selected. Worldwide, doesn't matter. My expense. Ship you a RTR SCX24 Gladiator, courtesy of the Scale Builders Guild and Axial Racing. So there you go. I'm not even going to open it. So there you go. Blue one for you. I'm no stranger to the SCX24 line of vehicles. I think they're really fantastic and chock full of available upgrades from all kinds of different people. We did an entire budget build series, 8 weeks, to get them to this state, whatever this is. I definitely invite you to watch that. It'll be right up here. You can check that whole series out. And if you want to see all of the basics of the SCX24, that's a really great video series for you. And it'll give you a ton of upgrade options that will work on the Gladiator, which is pretty spectacular. I am really pleased with this release. I'm so glad they did it. The cons list for this truck is pretty short. There are a few things I would have liked to have seen. I know it's a small scale and it's a small thing, but having a few door mirrors wouldn't be the worst thing in the whole world. You've already gone to the extent of redoing the whole rack and the Tough Stuff camper. Why not just add some door mirrors and maybe some sliders, some running boards? That would be kind of nice too. Otherwise, I think they pretty much nailed it. Pretty darn good little truck. Now, the next big question is, will they do this and upscale it to the SCX6? Who knows? Only time will tell. I do know that Hemistorm is doing one right now on the SCX6 platform and modifying the existing JL to make it a JT. I think that's a really awesome series. I will also link to that up here so you can check that one out at your leisure. Otherwise, I think that's going to do it. This is a pretty fun little truck. They're great to tool around with, especially indoors at this time of year. So I would highly recommend you pick up a Gladiator. I think that's going to be the next standard for the SCX24. I think I might have to take some of those parts from the Knight Customs catalog and put them onto this truck. Roof rack would be a cool addition. Snorkel? Thanks a lot to Axial for sending these my way pre-release. I didn't spoil it. Do you like the SCX24? Do you think it's a viable platform? Do you enjoy goofing around with these indoors or outdoors? Put a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of those comments as I can. And if you enjoyed this video, you like videos like this where we take a look at new releases like this one, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. Phew, that's a mouthful. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.